And we're live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 30 of the This and That Gaming podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Dave, and with me, as always, are my two good friends, Mr. Darren Dasborg. How are you going today?
Good, man. Good, man. I'm just checking everything at the moment, see if the stream's all working all nicely. So, still newbie. No, I'm doing all right.
Awesome, man. Cool. And, of course, what words could I use today? I'll go with magnificent.
Magnificent. Wow.
Mark Cassar. How you going, Mark?
Good, Dave. Good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm doing all right. So I guess it's been a little bit of time between drinks. I think about 3 weeks since our previous podcast.
Yeah.
Part of that's probably my fault because I've been a bit too busy with work. Thank you, COVID. But as we do every episode, let's start with what we've been playing. And I think this time I'll hand over to Mark.
Yep. Cool. Should we do our music or what? What do you think?
Yeah, all right.
I've just got to get to it because it's been a long time.
Time to play the game. Time to play the game.
Ba-da-da.
Cool. What have I been playing since we last spoke? So I jumped on the Ghost of Tsushima bandwagon as well.
Nice.
I was trying to hold off, but the hype got to me, and I jumped on. Ended up jumping on it in the end. Great game. We talked about it a bunch last episode. Enjoying it, but it does start to get a little bit repetitive the further you go into it.
You think it's a bit samey, do you?
Yeah, it does. It starts to be, invade this village, take out everyone, kind of rinse repeat. But the story is really good, so I need to get back to it. I've taken a little bit of a break from it, but I'll pick that up again and try and finish it off. Besides that, I've actually been playing a lot of hitting up the emulators again.
Okay.
One game that I've been playing a ton of this week is a PS1 game called Harmful Park, which is like a side-scrolling shooter, kind of in the vein of Parodius, if you've ever played that on the SNES and the Saturn. Okay. I think there was a PS1 port as well. So it's a shooter. It's a Japanese-style shooter, so it doesn't take itself overly seriously. It's kind of got like really silly enemies and stuff, but the gameplay is really, really fun. So I've been playing a fair bit of that. Yesterday I was playing, just dabbling in a bit of MAME, playing some Alien vs Predator. I haven't played that in a while. And just been messing around, the usual fighting games as well via emulation. Like been playing a bit of Street Fighter Alpha 2 as well. And besides that, I tried. I think I mentioned this on the RD video cast with you last week. Fall Guy as well, which is kind of fun.
Have you won any of the games yet or not?
No, the closest I've gotten was the last round, but I wasn't able to win.
My daughter's won. Amelia's won.
Oh, really?
She's screaming. It's like, won. She loves it. Like, I really have to play it. It looks good.
Yeah, it's fun. I can see how it appeals to like the Fortnite crowd because it's usually like a very similar kind of color scheme as well, very bright colors and stuff. But I can only play that game in short doses because the camera kind of does me in a bit after I play it for a bit. And that's been about it, really. It's been kind of quiet, so but it's been hitting up the emulators mostly.
Cool, man.
That's me.
Calling says Sparky RD represent.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can we talk quickly about your background this week, Mark? Because it's a little bit unusual.
Yeah.
Did you want to describe it to the people who are listening?
It is kind of like a ruins almost. I'm guessing it's maybe meant to be in South America, judging by the birds flying around.
It looks bad.
I tried to find out what game it's from. I have a feeling it looks like it's an SNK game. So if it's not King of Fighters, then I'm guessing it's maybe Last Blade.
I reckon it's KOF.
Yeah. It's definitely SNK though. It's got that SNK style to it. Yeah, very green, very pretty.
Well, if anyone's watching on YouTube and knows what the background is, by all means, let us know.
That's it.
Daz, what about yourself? What have you been playing?
I've been on and off, to be honest. Probably more emulation as well. I got lazy and I put my Raspberry Pi in the bedroom, so it's been nice.
Oh yeah,
playing, yeah. Two games in specific I've been glued to. And ones that, like, I think I spoke about it last time, was Astro Blaster. I think we spoke about it on the RD.
Yeah.
So I've been on that a lot. It's so much fun. But there's another game that I've never, ever heard of. It just bumped into it by accident. It was a game called Rally Biker. It's by Taito. I think I showed Mark. I think I sent him a screenshot.
Yeah.
Strange game. It's like it's a racing game, and you've got to qualify. You have to overtake at least 30 bikes or cars, and qualify to make it to the end, right? But it just gets dumb hard. You get like you can run out of fuel, you run out of time. Typical arcade game. It'll just suck your quarters. 20-cent coins. But
more like $2 these days. But anyway.
I'm just stuck on the second level. I don't know what to do. It's like it's impossible. I get this truck that keeps ramming up my ass. So I don't know what to do, but I still go back and try to play. I just don't know what to do. So there has to be a way to dodge this thing. But that sucked a lot of my time out. I got a I ordered this thing late March. It was a 3DO USB adapter because I had to replace the laser. The laser was gone. And I didn't think it was going to come. It was coming from the Ukraine. I spoke to the guy. He said he had to send it to his friend in Russia to get it sent here. They couldn't send anything from the Ukraine to Australia. So I thought, okay, it's gone.
Yeah.
I've wasted nearly $200 on nothing. I don't even bother. I accepted that I lost my money. And it came this week. I was like, oh my God, it arrived. So, and it was so easy to mod. The hardest part was trying to get the CD drive out because I don't know what the hell they did. There's like these metal bars. It's like it was a security thing, but I just got the pliers and ripped it off like that. I couldn't unscrew it. But it was just plug and play, bang. Just change the ribbons over, bang, and it worked. And
nice.
It's actually not a bad system. Like it's like the PlayStation destroys it, but it's got its charm, yeah. It's something about it that's actually it's a well-made machine. It just looks really nice, but yeah, I was playing that for a little bit. I was playing Another World because I've never played Another World before, you know. But but it's really nice. It's very, very nice on it. Also, I got a did I mention it here last time? I don't think so. No, the Saturn adapter as well. The mode that arrived. I went to install it in my Saturn. The Saturn didn't work. I realized it was my PSU. I think because someone tampered with it before I bought the actual unit, the Saturn. So when I went to pull it out, the power supply, there was one pin that was soldered. So obviously that's what broke.
Right.
So Mr. Tagster is repairing it at the moment. I posted it out to him. So hopefully he gets that done for me. And he'll send that back to me. Hope, fingers crossed, it works when I get it back. If not, I'm going to have to buy another PSU. So it's a shame because that Saturn adapter, I've been dying for it for ages. And also the same day, my EverDrive Pro came for my Sega Mega Drive. So I can play Sega CD now via the cartridge.
Nice.
ROMs have been hit and miss. Not all the CD games have worked. Now, I don't know if I've got the right BIOSes or the ROMs are corrupted. But when they work properly. So I think it's got to do more with the actual ROM, the RIP, than anything else.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
Because there's only like 3 BIOSes. You only need one for each of the regions.
There's like heaps of different BIOSes, man. Like for different models, and it's like, okay. Anyway, I just have to play around with it. I haven't been bothered. But what I played? I played the Terminator, which is good on there, and a Potful Mail, but that went buggy. That froze. So, like I said, I think that there's obviously there'll be firmware updates, etc. So, but yeah, besides that, yeah, well, yeah, I guess I've been playing a fair bit. So, yeah, but most of the time it's been MAME, been a lot of MAME actually. That's it.
Nice.
Yeah. What you, David?
What have I been playing?
How many games have you played?
27
Games?
Yes, 27 minutes of gaming. No, I've been playing. Been playing a little bit this weekend actually because I didn't have much time during the week. There's a game called Undermine on Game Pass. It is a cross between Spelunky and probably Zelda. So it's a dungeon crawler, and it's roguelike. So you start off with nothing, and you gradually get stronger, get better pickaxes, and you just go screen to screen, killing monsters. There's secrets. And you descend through the dungeon. There's boss monsters to fight. It's the usual sort of routine that you see a lot now in roguelike games. And you know, you retain part of your gold when you die. That lets you get upgrades and so on. But it's quite charming. So really good game. I highly recommend it. And I'm finding these days I'm playing more of those games that you sort of just play for 20 minutes or half an hour at a time. And this is one of those that you can do that.
Okay.
So give it a go. It's a small install. It looks pretty. Undermine. The other game I've been playing quite a bit of is Golf with Your Friends. This is on Game Pass as well.
The stuff you find.
My kids wanted something to play with me, and this is really good. It's mini golf. That's what it is. You can play online.
Sorry, Dave. Mark, Tim says, where is Mark? It looks beautiful.
He wishes he was there.
Yeah. Not wrong.
You're going to hang out at the birds, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't?
Come here.
At least they're outside.
There's the two people really far in the distance that are like, you know, egging him on. Come on.
Yeah.
Do it. Talk into that microphone. Sorry,
yeah.
David.
No, that's all right. So yeah, look, it's a good game. You've got 12. I think by default it comes with 12 different courses. So just like when you go to play mini golf, you might get like a Egyptian themed, golf course. This has the same sort of thing. So there's a haunted house, there's a forest, there's an Egyptian theme. We played Candyland as well, and they get progressively more difficult. And it's really simple physics. So, if you've played something like Wii Sports Golf, it's simpler than that. It's basically just a power meter and point, and that's it. But there are really simple. But at the same time, there's other mods. So you can, I think you can change the size of the balls. There's power-ups and stuff like that. We just turned all that off and kept it simple. And the kids love it. It's really good fun, simple to play. And yeah, I haven't tried online, but yeah, really good. So if you get a chance, try that. Golf with Your Friends, free on Game Pass as well.
He's happy. He's happy.
And yeah, look, aside from that, to be honest, I've been playing a bit of EverQuest 1 and 2. They're games that I sort of have going in the background. So that's about it. I tried to do the pre-install for Flight Sim.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting it to download like 100 gig, but it only seemed to download like probably a couple of gig, and that was it.
Okay.
So I have no idea what the purpose of that pre-install was. But that's coming next. Is it next week? Flight Sim?
I think it's next week, yeah.
Yeah, and Battletoads as well is coming too soon. So a couple more interesting games that will be worth trying out. But that's about it for me. So I guess we'll move on to the news.
So, what's the news?
What's the news, Daz? The news is Fortnite, the best game ever made, has been banned from Apple and Google stores.
That's pretty crazy. That's pretty nuts.
It's interesting. I wonder if this is going to lead to...
It's madness.
It is madness.
I think it is madness. I wonder what this will lead to, and if it will shake up the industry at all. It was a deliberate move by Epic, like they could see this coming because they basically introduced a new payment method for their V-Bucks, which is the currency for Fortnite.
Yeah, that's right.
And basically, what did you do? If you had two options then, so you had, hey, buy the V-Bucks through Apple or Google, or buy it through us directly, and we'll save you 30% or 20%. And obviously, Apple and Google are going, no, you can't do that. We want our cut, because then they don't get their cut of the sale.
Well, that's not only fair. You're using a platform.
Yeah, it is an interesting one. So Epic what are they doing now, Mark? Are they suing Apple or Google?
So they're suing both Apple and Google, but they're not actually suing them for money. They're just suing them, I guess, for the right to be able to do whatever it is that they want to do. Because basically, both Apple and Google have done is they've taken it down from the store. The difference between the two, though, is that Google,
you can still play it.
I think they'll still allow the updates, whereas Apple with iOS, once they move on to whatever update they do next, basically anyone on Apple on iOS is screwed and they won't be able to play it anymore. So, yeah, interesting. It's kind of hard to feel sympathy for,
Epic,
either party, either of them.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like there was the guy, I don't know who he is, the CEO or something of Epic, released a statement basically saying, like, he's seen a lot of opinions and the like it's hard to feel sorry for a $1 billion company when they're suing a $1 trillion company. It goes, it's not the point. The point is to give developers freedom, and you kind of you agree with them with that part. But I mean, platform holders have been doing this for years. Nintendo Nintendo are notorious for it. Sony does it. Microsoft does it now as well. So
it is interesting because I think that this lawsuit is around sort of, what is it? Monopolization, because I guess. But there's two companies, so it's not really a monopoly when there's two companies.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's a little bit different because, the EU sort of hammered Microsoft for ages around sort of monopolizing stuff. That was a little bit different at that time. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what comes out of this, if anything. And I wonder, what Epic's fallback plan is if, because they'll lose a large portion of their revenue, So maybe they've done the maths. I have no idea. It's very interesting. Moving on with the same trend, Apple also banned Xbox Game Pass from iOS. And their argument was basically that they can't review every game that Microsoft put on the platform. Is there anything else to really add to this? I mean, some people were sort of saying, well, Netflix is, a service and they have lots of different movies, but I guess games are a bit more interactive. And I don't know if I necessarily agree with this or not, though. What are your thoughts on this?
I think they've got ulterior motives. I reckon they want to keep like Apple Arcade for themselves, and I don't think they want anyone going onto their game side of things, because they obviously still want to grow it. And they can't grow their gaming division if you got Xbox Game Pass on an Apple. That's of course.
Yeah.
It's strategic. That's what I think anyway.
They've banned our good friends over at Google as well, and Stadia.
Oh, Stadia. No.
So
I was hoping to play that on my iPhone. Damn.
So it's getting, for the same reason that they can't curate all the games. Not much else really that you can add. Microsoft responded. Just low key saying that they're not happy about it, but whatever.
So the interesting thing though is Game Pass still is allowed on the Google Store. So it is will be available on Android devices on September 15.
That's because Google knows Stadia is a heap of shit.
Maybe they can chip into a Game Pass and get a cut of it or something.
Yeah.
Sadly, though, I think it won't be coming to. Well, the xCloud won't be coming to Australia, and I think we've got a story about that a bit further down. So Microsoft's cloud streaming service, which will be launching on September 15, will be available, I think, in 22 countries, but Australia is not one of them at this stage, which is kind of a spew because I think, we're all on pretty fast internet now. It's not spectacular, but it's pretty good. I'd definitely want to give it a go and see what it's like, particularly even if I was just sitting on the couch and wanted to play something when I'm not at my PC or console. What do you think of that, Daz? Does it suck?
Oh, it's stupid. But yeah, I don't get. I mean, look, does it really matter at the moment when everyone's stuck at home anyway? You can just play your computer or on the TV. You know what I mean? Like, it's stupid. Maybe, I don't know. There's obviously a reason why it's not here yet. It's not going to be.
Yeah, I'm guessing they maybe because they go by their sort of regions where they've got servers hosted, and maybe they just haven't rolled out to the Australian ones yet.
Yeah,
which is a real shame.
Doesn't.
Yeah. Look, I would have liked to have tried it. I still want to, but I guess we'll be waiting longer for that. Halo Infinite has been delayed until 2021. Did we expect this to be the case? Were we expecting this after what was demoed a couple of weeks back at the Microsoft showcase, or are we surprised by this announcement?
I'm not really surprised because it looked like Halo 1, to be honest.
Yeah, it did. Got a lot of blowback, which I don't know, I was a little bit surprised. I thought it looked okay.
Yeah, it looked fine.
Yeah, like you said, like it looked like a prettier Halo 1.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's disappointing. But well, if it leads to a better game, then yeah, good on them. Do what you need to do. Then maybe they're not expecting many consoles to sell.
Yeah.
At launch, so they're probably thinking, well, let's take the opportunity then.
Yeah. Greetings at Gears of Games, Mats. Thanks for joining us, mate.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, look, it didn't look spectacular, and I think everyone wants, after hearing about the power of the Xbox Series X, they wanted something amazing. I liked the gameplay. The gameplay to me looked good. But yeah, graphically it didn't wow, and I think that's probably what they were worried about.
Yeah, it looked like a 360 game, really.
I think it looked a bit better than that, but I agree. It didn't look next gen. It looked like
Atari VCS graphics, mate.
It did.
Yeah.
And we know they're worth big bucks. Actually, did we even mention that in here? We'll have to talk about that.
We did EB Games, yeah. I don't know if that's there or not.
So we might as well just bring that up now. We don't have an article for this, but the Atari VCS has got pre-orders now in Australia. Yeah. I think both EB Games, which is the equivalent of GameStop here, and JB Hi-Fi, one of our sort of electrical department type stores, have got pre-orders for obscenely high prices, 850 Australian dollars.
That is so crazy.
Jesus.
That's insane. That's like so funny. How? Just please, EB Games, because please don't buy. Just don't buy it. Let people pre-order it. Yeah, until they fully pay you the money, then get it in.
I'd love to see how many sales they get here in Australia.
$850, man, for that. That's insane. Imagine the PC you could buy with that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
There's no doubt. I'll be very surprised if the PS5 is $850. I think it'll come in at 800, and I think you would be a nutter to go and pay $850 for this. And I think the base model, Mark, is $699. That's with no controller.
Yeah, because I think you can use other controllers on it.
Oh yeah, but still, really,
Yeah,
you're going to pay 700? There it is, $700.
It hasn't even got wood grain.
I flipped out when I saw that. So please, people,
insane.
don't buy.
Yeah,
Save your money.
It's funny because my I guess my wife saw it on Facebook, maybe EB or JB. I think JB is selling it too. And
Yeah,
she
they
said,
are.
she's, oh, you're going to get the new Atari thing? I'm like, fuck no. And she looked at me like why?
They're
I
funny.
said, it's $850. She's like, what? So, yeah.
Crazy.
Who they gonna rope in with this bullshit?
That's funny, man.
Yeah. I'm sure someone will buy one and maybe keep it aside as a museum piece for 30 years.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll get a dumpster full of Atari VCSs like the
Yeah, exactly.
PT.
Yeah, throw that in the friggin' tip. Yeah.
So flipping back, we were talking about Halo Infinite. They did say that Halo Infinite was going to run at 120 FPS in multiplayer mode, which is really good.
That's
and
sick.
This is what we're really hoping. I guess with some of the next gen games that we're going to see the higher frame rates. Even if we don't have a TV that might have those frame rates, we can always plug it into a monitor and get those sweet frames.
But can we see 120 frames per second?
You can't, but you definitely notice it, dude.
Okay.
You spin out. Yeah, people always say, oh no, you notice it. You will. Your monitor does like 144 hertz, right? And Microsoft have said, I think, that they're already supporting 1440p too. So if you did get the Series X, you'll be able to go at that resolution
on my monitor.
On your monitor and run it at 120 hertz, and it'll be sweet. It might even go higher. Who knows?
Well, looking at you look like you're at 240 hertz.
Am I?
Yeah. Oh, mate,
it
hurts.
It's really only important for the trigger type games like this, right? When you're playing multiplayer and it's a shooter.
Yeah.
If you're playing, I don't know, your standard sort of platformer and stuff, those sort of FPS is not really as important. Any thoughts on this, Mark? Are you excited?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, Halo's probably the only Xbox exclusive game that I'm besides Forza Horizon that I'm interested in. I have a 144 hertz monitor as well, and I'll be honest with you, with the games that I play anyway, I can't really tell the difference. But then again, I don't really play a lot of shooters as well. So maybe this will be the one that'll, like open my eyes, so to speak. But it's good news, and it's free as well. Like that's
free
amazing to me. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, multiplayer. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So because I have no interest in playing the campaign, so if I can just grab this, like fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's cool. Good news. Good work.
And interestingly as well, you will see a lot more 4K 120 FPS monitors start to appear probably next year, because at the moment they're either super expensive or unavailable. But I think that'll be the next sort of target that computer monitors will try and hit. So then you'll have a nice sync with next gen consoles as well.
Yeah, I reckon 4040p is going to be the sweet spot.
Yeah, I think so. So with just going back to Ghosts of Tsushima, which I can never pronounce properly, that had did that have a performance mode and a pretty mode?
It does, yeah.
What were you playing on, Mark? Because you got a Pro.
I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember if I think I had it on performance.
I think I had a performance too.
Yeah.
And it was smooth?
Yeah, it's solid.
Yeah.
It's solid 30 frames, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
But supposedly, Digital Foundry compared both models for that game, and the standard one still ran and looked fine. They said it's not. They didn't push the Pro enough to really make a difference.
That's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah.
I wonder why that's the case, because surely it can't be that hard. Like the hardware is just almost a PC now. So it should just be a matter of upping some settings or at least getting better frame rates. But that's a bit disappointing. Hopefully we'll see that improve next
It's
gen.
bonkers.
I would go as far as to say it's madness.
It's madness.
Maybe they'll get to 27.
27.
No, don't start that.
Do it. It's still on there.
Staying with the Xbox news, Xbox Series S. We know it's coming, but we pretty much got a confirmation that it is because
I love the design, by the way. Looks great, if that's it.
No, I don't think that's it.
They did a good job on the design. It looks the same as the old one.
So how was this confirmed, Mark? Was there something on the controller or on the box or something? I think it was on the controller, the new controller for the next gen Xbox. It had at the side.
There it is there.
Yeah, that's it. So very hard to see, but it says on there for the Xbox Series S/X. But it's odd that Microsoft still haven't revealed the specs for the Series X. I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
But the thing is, there's at the moment, I know it says Series there, but could that be like a misprint? It could be Xbox. You know how you got the S version at the moment, and you've got the
like 1S
1X, yeah.
Doesn't it say? I can't read it. It's too small. I thought it said like one something underneath
Series.
it.
Okay. Oh, I guess the D-pad looks different.
Yeah, it's definitely the newer model because look at the D-pad on it, and it's got that extra button.
It's got the extra button. That D-pad sucks.
That's like the Elite controller.
Yeah.
Have you used that before?
No, but it's supposedly really, really good.
Okay. Doesn't look good though. I don't know. The D-pad doesn't look right. It doesn't look like I'd play Street Fighter with it. That's what's important.
Yeah, that's always the test, isn't it? Dear. All right, moving on to PlayStation news. And apparently they have secured some huge multi-platform games as timed exclusives. I won't say much about this aside from it sucks.
Yeah,
we all agree.
Money talks. Yeah, that's what it is really.
Yeah.
So we've already, I think Marvel. What is it? Marvel.
Avengers.
Yeah. There's exclusive for Sony. I think Spider-Man is on.
Yeah.
Yeah, is only on the PlayStation. That probably, it's annoying. But this sort of sounds like they'll get, say the next Call of Duty a month earlier or something like that, right? Because they're doing that sort of old trick. And I was hoping we wouldn't get much of this with next gen, but it looks like it's going to continue.
Yeah, it bites.
It does bite. And staying with the disappointing news, the PS4 DualShock has been announced as not working with PS5 games. So Sony have said that basically they want to take advantage of some of the new features of the new controller, such as what's it got on there, that DualSense or whatever it is.
Yeah. There was a couple of things we spoke about it a few months back too.
You know, it's stupid. I think that's just their excuse to add something special to the next controller, just so they can just sell a new one.
It is. It's what you do with everything in marketing, right? You're not going to just you want to siphon as much as you can out of accessories.
Because the DualShock 4, when do you really use that freaking touchpad?
I know, it's extremely rare.
It's just
I totally agree.
It's just an excuse to buy a new fucking thing. It pisses me off that.
It does. Now, they have said that, you will be able to use your PS4 controller with PS4 games on your PS5, and the arcade sticks will still work because I guess those games don't take advantage of some of these haptic feedback and adaptive triggers. But really, maybe 15% of games would take advantage of it. Couldn't you just have those features turn off
Yeah, that's right. Gears of
Yeah.
Games says, "Oh, for fuck's sakes, that's nonsense. They just want us to spend another $80 on new control. $80, more like $100.
$80 and the rest.
Yeah, and the
and
rest
the
in
rest.
Australia.
And the
yeah.
rest. Yeah, the way controllers are going, like it's freaking ridiculous. Like
Even the VCS one's expensive.
VCS was
$102, Daz.
$110.
$102 for an Atari joystick.
Yeah.
Actually,
look
have
at the
you guys
Joy-Cons.
have noticed this as well? That recently, just everything has gone up, right? Since with
Yeah.
COVID, like webcams are just obscenely
It's insane.
expensive,
They're
Insane.
like double the price.
Yeah.
nuts. And I was looking for an Xbox controller actually, and none of them are cheap. Like at one point I was getting them for about $50 or $60. Now most of the time they're in the sort of 80, 90 range. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
it's
everything.
pretty insane.
PC parts like across
Yeah.
the board
Yep.
have just like skyrocketed.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Monitors as well. Monitors are really hard to get cheap at the moment because everyone wants them for home office and stuff. Madness.
Jeez, remember when
Madness.
computers were for geeks and nerds in the 80s?
I know.
Who's laughing now?
Moving
Gears
on
of
to
Games says when we can use the VCS controller on the PS5. Oh, shit. Imagine that worked. Shit.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it.
with that one button.
Yeah.
And
think it has
imagine
two.
it's like bound to like the zero, the O button. So all you're doing is just fucking exiting. All the time.
Cancel. And this was a couple of weeks back now, but Nintendo had a big leak of. It was a whole
That
slab.
was a big leak, didn't they? You paused.
They took a big leak and a giant dump. They leaked. There was a whole bunch of information that got leaked, basically, and in it was some interesting, I guess, code from some games that never really got released, or that did get released, but in a different way, shape, or form. So Star Fox 2 was in there. There was early cuts of Mario Kart without the drifting in it. There was an early release of Super Mario World, I think it was. So what will be interesting with this stuff is, I guess, the hackers and emulation scene will get a hold of it and likely release some of them as ROMs, at least until they get taken down by Nintendo. But it's quite interesting just to see the evolution, because it had information about, sort of how games were being developed and evolved. So
So
I don't know.
they must have used DOS because something was running through DOSBox.
Was it? I
Yeah.
don't know what.
Look,
it's
see?
possible. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I haven't seen this tool I made for Star Fox 2 for almost 30 years. There you go.
Wow.
So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that over the next few months as they dissect all that information. Moving on to some new hardware. And SNK. This is an interesting little device.
I like it. I like it.
It looks super pretty. So to describe it to, I guess, can you describe it, Daz, to our listeners?
It looks like a little bar top cabinet. It's pretty much what it is. That's what it is. A bar top arcade cab. So it's only got the base and the screen with the actual marquee at the top.
Yep.
So you plonk it on your kitchen table or something, or on a dining table, whatever, or on your bench, and play away. I think it looks nice. I like it.
It looks super pretty. It's 2 players. How many buttons does it come with there, Daz?
So it's got six on each side, which is odd. Because we should explain, because we actually didn't say what it is. So it's a Neo Geo MVS arcade system that a company called Uniqlo, I think it is releasing. As they said, it's a little bar top unit. It's going to come with the usual staple of games. So you've got King of Fighters 94 up to 2003. You've got the Metal Slugs on there. Samurai Showdown, Fatal Fury, Guru, which is good. World Heroes, which is nice actually, because that always seems to be the forgotten
Yeah.
SNK game, Art of Fighting, Sengoku. Then you got usual Magician Lord, Last Blade, Super Sidekicks, Golf, 3 Count Bout, Baseball Stars, Football Frenzy.
It's a shame there's no Baseball
what-
Stars 2 and no Ninja Combat. I love Ninja Combat.
Yeah. Neo Geo Battle Coliseum would have been good on there as well.
Yeah, but
I
that's
don't
not
think that was
me.
actually
That's
it was
not-
it was MVS anyway. So, but what
So a
it does
total of 50 games, is that right?
is it has a little base
Mm.
that you can whack it on as well
Okay.
for an extra $50, and it makes it look like
Like a
I
proper
guess
cub. Yeah.
proper
Yeah.
size. So it's the base itself is what 32 inches it says, and then the bar top is 25 inches. So it's a fair size.
So that's about 80 centimeters for the base and about 65 or something for the top.
So yeah, coming out in November this year. Recommended retail price though is $500 US. That's
Ouch.
including the base. $450 US without the base. So it's pretty pricey.
It is.
But wait till the hackers and the modders get their hands on it and start doing all the good stuff to it. And then
The
it might
arcade
be,
one-ups at the moment, how they're getting hacked, they're amazing.
Yeah.
So,
It's a shame we can't get them here. Well, they're extremely hard anyway to get.
Oh, you can now. Kogan's selling the Pac-Man one now at the moment for $900.
Oh, really?
Yeah, $900.
How much?
900.
Are they on drugs or what?
But it's got like 5 or 10 games on there or something. It's got like a crap load of Namco games in it.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
yeah,
look,
I
I like this, and I like the fact it's only you can get both, without the base. Because if you don't have a lot of space, then you can just pop it on a table somewhere. But the price is a little bit steep. Continuing with hardware,
if it's
Daz.
a day
Yeah.
here.
Oh.
What was that? Sorry, Mark.
Oh.
It's interesting if it sees a lot of day.
Yeah. I doubt it will, to be honest.
Here, Mark. I'm just gonna send you a link.
Daz is sending you a link of something. While Daz is doing that,
I will talk about this.
Yes. What is it, Daz?
It is ZX Spectrum Next. This is the second issue. Like this was Kickstarter was on about I think 3 years ago, the first one. It took them a while to release, but they came out earlier this year. And I was kind of upset that I missed out on it. And I'm glad that they're finally releasing an issue 2. And I've taken the plunge and I've backed it. And that's not something I normally do with something Kickstarter and this much money, but I'll kick myself if I don't. I'm a sucker for vintage computers and computers in general. So yeah, I'm offloading my original ZX Spectrum. I'm getting rid of that to get this. So
what extra features does this one have, Daz?
this pretty much has every feature that the ZX Spectrum has, the old one.
Yep.
And this one's got extra RAM in it. It pretty much turns it into an Amiga version of a ZX Spectrum. So, but it's an upgrade, but it's not stupid upgrade. You know what I mean? The games look like 16-bit games that would be as a Spectrum. And they're really pretty. And I like that there's limitations to the hardware. They've done that on purpose. So, and because it's reached so many stretch goals, there's so much extras we're getting now. So that's quite good. I'm getting the accelerator version. You get a Raspberry Pi, the Zero, Pi Zero. It's used as an expansion on there, so it lets you do other things extra to the computer. So,
nice.
Yeah, it's just not the cheapest of things, but you gotta live once, hey.
Yeah, that's it.
I love computers, so
it's well exceeded its pledge. It's at 2 million Australian at the moment. 3,169 backers.
It took 5 minutes for it to reach its goal.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have to say, I'm
5
envious.
minutes.
I'm envious they haven't done something like this for the Amstrad.
Sorry, 5 minutes or 15 minutes. Oh, I could be wrong. It's one of those. I know there's a 5 in there. There's no
27,
but there's a 5.
But look, it's good. They've catered to the right market. That particular market have taken care of them in the past.
Yeah.
And like you said, Daz, the most important thing is they didn't go crazy. They didn't make it into a PC that just plays anything.
There, yeah.
They've put some, by putting the limitations, you actually get more people wanting to stretch those limitations.
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's people that have put like, I don't see the point. Like they're putting arcade perfect versions of Donkey Kong and that kind of thing. Why? Well, who cares? Just I'll play MAME, yeah? Don't waste your time with that shit. Put some original software on here. I don't. If I want to play arcade games, I'll play MAME. I don't want to play it on this. That's not why I bought this machine. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, very nice and very, very pretty looking machine too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very.
It's beautiful, man. From the reviews I've seen, like with the first revision, everyone said that it just built. It's heavy. The keys feel nice. It's built properly.
Yeah, so, good stuff.
Did you see the link I posted, Mark?
Hey, I haven't checked it yet. No,
that's something we should mention. Just because it's sort of got to do with what we were talking about before. But okay, the Amico.
Yes, I might get you to talk about this. Did you actually watch this event? So the Intellivision Amico had a special event. Mark, did you watch this event?
I did. Yeah, I watched most of it.
What did they talk about?
They basically went through and introduced a bunch of their partners. It's funny because I watched it a couple of weeks ago now, so I've forgotten most of what they've shown. But they showed. Look, there was nothing mind blowing. Like they know what their target audience is. And they played to that. So it's very much geared towards probably non-gamers or they're going for the family market. It is coming here. They said it's going to be getting a worldwide release. They didn't mention when. They did mention that it's been pushed back, the release, because originally it was going to be released this year. I can't remember if it was September or November. It was kind of actually a sad story because he wanted to release it on the date of his sister's birthday, who had passed away. But sadly, they were not able to make that date, so it's been pushed back to, I think it's April next year. And they showed off a bunch of third-party games. All the developers seem really enthusiastic for it. So look, I really hope it does well. They showed like a little touch of Earthworm Jim footage as well, and they've got I think maybe all or most of the original developers working on that too, and it looked great.
But how does it control, dude? How does that game control?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'll be honest with you. It's kind of hard to tell. Like they showed off some games that will take like good advantage of the controller. They showed like some racing games, like what am I thinking of?
Do you want to press play to see if it shows any games while we talk? Because I'm curious.
Yeah. I'll go forward. They don't really show any like using the controller.
So does it have? It's got, so just to describe it, it's got a touch screen, well, a screen and a circular.
It's got like a disc wheel,
disc at the bottom. Does it have buttons on the side as well that controller? Yeah. It does, yeah.
Here they're talking to the I think it was his son, Evil Knievel. They're making an Evil Knievel game. That looks very much like Kickstart too.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. I'll see if there was any footage of that.
So there might be a different way of holding the controller for those sort of button platformer type ones.
Oh, okay. I have to admit, they look like mobile games, though.
They are. They're not big budget games, man. It's a fair size unit, though. Like looking at it in his hands there. It's not tiny, but look, I don't know how it's going to work. I'll jump forward a little bit.
I reckon it's going to work like a mobile phone.
Because it could be, yeah.
Have they indicated a price for the console yet?
I don't know if I can't remember if they mentioned it. I'll be honest with you. All they did say that it was pushed back. So look, you're not going to get Call of Duty. You're not going to get big budget games. Probably the most well-known game that they showed in this thing was the Moon Patrol
Is it Sonic coming
remake.
out on there? I'm pretty
They
sure
didn't
Sonic.
mention anything about Sonic. No, like I said, I saw Earthworm Jim, but I didn't see anything about Sonic.
Okay.
And they did say that you can download the Moon Patrol demo on Android devices as well and play it now. They've got some kind of high score challenge that they're doing. But yeah, look, it looked for what it is. If they get the price point right, it'll do well. And honestly, this is what the VCS should have been, not like bullshit that they're trying to pull now. But it's going to be really, really dependent on price.
It will be,
I wouldn't pay more than 200 for that.
No, definitely not. And 200 with two controllers.
Yeah,
because it's very underpowered system. Like nothing was mind blowing. Like you said, it does look like mobile games, but I think that's what they're going for. They're not going for big budget shooters or anything like that.
It could be a computer on a chip, like a Pi. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be. And they showed. It'd be too hard to find now, but they actually showed like units that they had, like mid assembly and stuff like that. So they're not trying to hide anything like the VCS did for months. You know, it's like it's all there, it's all out on the table. There's no bullshit. Like this is what we're going for. This is the market that we're going for. And they said it themselves, like we're not going for the hardcore gamers. We are going for the families that want to sit down and play a game like on the couch together or whatever. So yeah.
I think my only worry is the price though, because I think those controllers might cost a bit, and that might hurt them.
Exactly, yeah. But it could be that the unit itself is purposely underpowered to
keep costs
down.
I personally think it comes with two, man. It's just the console looks like it just has to have two in there.
Yeah,
they can't. They're not going to sell a unit that's only got one when there's like a space there. I reckon that's silly.
Oh yeah, it would be silly. Yeah. It would be silly, but so is selling a $700 system without a controller.
But that's Atari. You can't. That's not even Atari. I don't even call them Atari.
Yeah,
not anymore.
And just rounding out some quite bizarre hardware news, Konami taking pre-orders for their gaming PCs. This was on Tom's Hardware. They've got 3 models. There's an entry-level one called the C300, and then 2 higher-end models, the C700 and the C700 Plus.
That's strange.
It is odd. And look, their hardware isn't spectacular either. The base models are, last gen Core i5 with a 1650, which is a pretty slow card. And then the others are a 2070 Super, which is a good graphics card, but still a Core i7 9700. It is water cooled, but I imagine that's going to be quite pricey. So I have no idea who you would aim this at. Mark, any ideas? Who is this for?
I would say, honestly, I have no idea. I really don't. You would think that they'd be only going for the Japanese market.
Yep.
Traditionally, in the past, the Japanese haven't really been all that into PC gaming. So maybe because it has the Konami brand on it, it might do well. But like looking at the prices there,
it's a lot.
The top end model is $3,226. That's USD as well.
Jesus.
Based on what they've put in there, it's going to be a tough sell.
Yeah.
And one of the things, like it sounds like they're not the base model is not super upgradable as well. Like there's no available ports and things like that. And they have no wireless connectivity, so you have to connect via LAN, Ethernet.
Yeah,
so it's bizarre.
Very odd.
Yeah, I can't see these coming outside of Japan, to be honest with you.
No,
we're not missing out on anything.
No, we're not. Moving on to some new games now. G.I. Joe Operation Blackout.
Where'd this come from, Mark? You
Where
know me
did it
too well,
come
don't
from?
you? You know me too well.
Bizarre. It was just out of the blue. It was like, oh, here's a new G.I. Joe game.
This reminds me of the good old days, like Unreal
It
Tournament for
does.
some reason.
It does. Unreal Tournament as well. I thought the same
Yeah.
thing when I saw it.
It just got that feel. It looks so much. It looks so good.
So it's got, I think it's got missions as well as multiplayer, and it's
Yeah.
traditional sort of multiplayer, capture the flag, King of the Hill, that sort of stuff. And the graphics are a bit Borderlandsy, aren't they?
Yeah, it's got that cell shaded look to it.
Yeah.
But it's not. Yeah.
I really dig it. I hope it's good because it looks interesting.
I like that. It doesn't look. I like that style of graphics. It doesn't age.
No.
No, yeah, it's true.
It does not age.
So it's a little bit like, I think it's better resolution than say the Borderlands type cell shading, and then the backgrounds are more sort of traditional 3D environments.
Yeah.
It seems to look pretty good.
Yeah, I'll play that.
And that's coming out October 13. Who's that being made by, Mark or Daz?
I don't know.
Does it say? It's coming out on all platforms.
I was using my mouse to scroll at the video.
That's bizarre. Actually, doesn't say.
No.
It's
Oh,
at the end of the video.
yeah, maybe. That's really cool. So check that one out, October 13. Considering how few games are sort of coming out at the moment, it's nice to see something like this.
All right, what's it say? Looks like probably some G.I. Joe Operation Blackout. Let's have a look.
While Daz checks that out, actually, Daz, I need you to talk about the next game. An arcade edition of Fight of Gods.
What if I don't want to talk about it?
I don't know. You can ignore it if you want.
I like this game. I like this game. Just be careful if you're religious at all. This might offend you, so I'm just giving you a warning. Fight of Gods is a 2D versus fighter. It's a mythical one. Has like Moses, Zeus, Odin, Jesus, Buddha fighting against each other like Street Fighter. And Santa as well. Santa's actually quite a good character. It's out on Steam and Switch. I have both. So it's fun. It's a broken game. It doesn't play the greatest. It's just a good laugh. But there's an arcade version now, and it's being test played in Japan at the moment. So that's all I know. I came across this. I go, what the hell's going on here? This is crazy. So that's all I really can say much about it. Yeah. So if you're a religious type person, then you probably won't like this. But I just think it's funny. A lot of people think it's funny. So you can't take things too seriously, can you? But
no.
Yeah.
What are the Steam reviews like for this game, Daz? I think that'd be quite interesting.
It would be interesting. I haven't actually checked. I think
they're actually quite good because the online playing the netcode on this game apparently is really good.
Okay.
Oh wow,
it's some of the best on the market. So
that's funny. I think it's a Korean. I think Koreans.
It's Taiwanese.
Oh, it's Taiwanese, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at who made this G.I. Joe.
All right. Well, you keep looking at that, Mr. Marku. Did you want to talk about Rocksteady Studios' next game?
Yeah.
Developer NA, it says. Sorry. Publisher is Game Mill Entertainment. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah. Suicide Squad is Rocksteady's next game, and we're getting a reveal on August 22. For those that don't know, Rocksteady responsible for the Batman series of games, the Arkham games, that have spanned the 360 and last gen, I believe. They've been quiet for a while. A lot of people assumed that they were working on a Superman game. Some people thought they were doing a Ninja Turtles game, but no, it turns out they're doing Suicide Squad. All they've done so far is show off some, I don't know if it's cover art or just artwork, promotional art, which has an image of Superman in crosshairs. But yeah, we'll be finding out more sometime next week.
August 22nd.
So yeah, cool. Because the Batman, those Batman games, they're all quality games. Especially Arkham City, the middle one in the trilogy, is probably the best one.
Yep.
So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do with this. It's probably not what it was. Probably the last thing that anyone was expecting, to be honest with you, being Suicide Squad. But DC seems to be pushing that brand pretty hard at the moment. So yeah, it'd be cool, interesting to see.
What I was surprised about was I wasn't aware of this DC fandom. So they've got a is it like a sort of a mini convention next week?
Yeah.
Virtual fan experience. That'll be cool. I'm curious what else will be actually in that.
Yeah. So cool.
Cool, man. And we mentioned this a little bit earlier, but we'll say it again. Battletoads is coming August 20th. This will have 3-player co-op, which will be cool. And apparently, from what I've seen, they are still going to have quite a challenging difficulty level, but there will be options to sort of make it easier for people who basically are getting a little bit old like us and have the reaction times of a snail. And this is on Game Pass as well. So if you've got Game Pass, hey, there's no reason why you can't try it out. Any thoughts on Battletoads?
I'm just looking for it. I reckon it'll be fun. I know Matthew's already pre-downloaded it, but yeah, you can't.
We should try online if it's got co-op online. That'd be good. I don't know if it has that feature. I'd assume it does. That'd be cool to give it a go. Awesome sauce.
Cool.
Yeah, 3 players drop in and drop out. So yeah,
nice.
That's cool. Awesome.
Continuing on, Call of Duty Black Ops. We found out what the new Call of Duty Black Ops game was from a Doritos promotion of all things.
That's crazy.
It will be called Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I don't mind the Call of Duty Black Ops games. I actually quite enjoy them.
27!
Pretty much, isn't it? There's a million of them.
There is a lot of them.
Yeah.
No idea when it's coming out. I don't think did they have a date on that article? I don't think so. But yeah, there you go. There's the wrapper that says Cold War. Unlock double XP for a year. Go to Doritos.com/Call of Duty. They know their market, Doritos.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like, I don't know if it was here or another article said that the top seven of the top 10 most selling games in the past decade have been Call of Duties. So it's a franchise that, whether you love it or hate it, has had a massive impact on the gaming community. Probably pushed gaming hardware more than anything else.
Gears of Games says Call of Doritos.
Call of Doritos. And Mr. Marku and Mr. Daz, something close to your hearts. New DLC characters coming. Was this a surprise to you, Mark?
Kind of. Yes and no. So this is an interesting story in on itself. It's probably a two-part, and we'll go into our next story. So originally, the last season of Street Fighter V, the Champion Edition update that they released was meant to be the last one. Topped out the roster at 40 characters, which is a nice, healthy size now. And then not too long after, probably maybe I think it was April or May, after COVID hit and well and truly was in full swing, they made an announcement saying that based on the feedback and on the sales of Champion Edition, they've decided to do one more final season. People were a little bit dubious, like thinking, this has been planned all along. But what we found out, so last week they had a special live stream that they did where they announced the characters that were coming. So we're getting Dan, who is a fan favorite. Bit of a joke character,
He's a
but
waste
people
of a
love him.
character, though. I don't get it.
Nah, he's not, man. Dan is awesome. Dan appeals to the casual player, and that's what they need to do. They need to stop going for the pros and give people fun stuff.
Yeah, but he's
that's
not one
what
of the
sells.
easiest characters. He's not an easy character to master.
But he's
though.
funny. He's funny though. It doesn't matter if for a casual player, they don't need to care about mastering.
Yeah.
They just want to see. They want to see him do stupid taunts and stuff like that. You know, like Hakan from Street Fighter 4 is another example. I fucking love Hakan.
Yeah.
You know, not because he's good, but because he's funny as hell.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
And that's where Dan comes in, and they might, because he's going to be a paid character this time. He might actually be decent. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
So then they also announced that Rose is coming back. I know Daz will be excited for this one. It's one of his favorite characters.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Rose, for those that don't may not be too familiar, is from the Alpha series. She was also in 4 as well. So she's coming back. Very, very highly requested character. We're also getting Oro from Street Fighter 3.
Wow.
He features quite a bit in a lot of the intros and in some of the story modes. He's in Dalsim's story mode. He's in a couple of them on there. So they've been kind of like hinting at him for a while now. So he's finally coming back. It's good to see more Street Fighter 3.
Yeah.
Representation.
Remy, man. Remy would be sick.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll ever get Remy. He wasn't overly popular.
No.
I
just like the low sonic booms. I think that's a nice.
Yeah, exactly, and that kick that he had too. But the next one is the one that has me the most excited, which is Akira from Rival Schools.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so no one saw this one coming. There'd been leaks beforehand, saying basically kind of. Everyone always mentioned Rose and everyone always mentioned Oro. A lot of people were saying Rolento and Alina as well.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
But none of them had mentioned Dan, and no one in their wildest dreams had expected Akira, because the Rival Schools has been kind of dormant for 20 plus years now.
Great game too.
Yeah, exactly. So it's nice to see. That game getting represented. There is a stage where it's got Rival Schools characters in the background, but this is the first playable character that we've seen from that franchise in a while. And then there's one more character that they haven't announced yet, which will be the final character coming. A lot of speculation, people thinking that it might be a Darkstalkers character, or it could be a new character, or from one of their other franchises. But what they also showed was like the roadmap going forward. And this kind of shows that this stuff is very, very early on in development. It is not something that they've been holding back. So like Dan is not dropping until the end of this year. Rose isn't coming out until about, they're saying spring 2021. So that's autumn for us. So March at the earliest. Oro and Akira is not coming out until summer of next year, well, summer in the US, and the final character is not coming out until the end of next year, so it's still a long ways to go. Now this kind of leads
though.
2021.
Oh, I'm pointing at the screen. Oh, it says new costume CPT 2022.
Oh, that's because the Pro Tour kind of overlaps the Capcom Pro Tour that they run. And there's a couple of new stages that are coming as well, and some costumes, of course, because that's where they make their money. They kind of slipped this in here as well, a new battle mechanic. They didn't really mention it in the stream. They didn't say what it's going to be. A lot of people are thinking it's going to be like a new super, each character will have either 2 supers or selectable supers, kind of like in Street Fighter 4, but they didn't mention that at all. Now, I'm going to take over for you for a sec, Dave. I'm going to go into our next story, because this kind of leads into this directly. Now, Yoshinori Ono, who is the He's like the executive producer for the Street Fighter franchise. He's responsible for bringing Street Fighter back pretty much from the dead. He was responsible for getting Street Fighter 4 made. He has left Capcom after 27 years. He had a winner with Street Fighter 4. Like, no one can take that away from him. But some of the other projects that he's led since then have been disappointing. Street Fighter Cross Tekken, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, two major duds. You know, as great as Infinite is, it's a dud.
So I like Cross Tekken. I thought that was great.
Yeah, but it didn't do well, and then all the bullshit with the on-disc DLC and that kind of stuff,
and those gems and crap.
The gems, exactly. It just buried the game. The game was dead on arrival.
Yeah.
And then Street Fighter 5, which had a really, really rocky start. It's taken like 4 years to go and get it into decent shape. So he's left, and now they're saying the reason that for his exit, he's been demoted over the past couple of years. He's been moved from like area to area. And then from what the rumors are is that he was heading up Street Fighter 6, and that the testing that they've done for the game has not gone well. And the testers are saying that they don't like it, and they've basically scrapped it now and started again. Apparently it had some kind of tag mechanic in it, which is not Street Fighter. Street Fighter's always been a one-on-one game, and suppose it's just been really poorly received. So what they've done is they've taken it out of his hands and they've given it to someone else, and they've revamped it. And that's the reason why, though, because originally it was supposed to be like a launch title for the PS5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But now they've had to add on another 1 to 2 years of development to try and fix the issues with what's been created so far. So because of that, now they've done an extra season of Street Fighter 5 to kind of fill in the gap, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's sad to see him go. He was a really good representative for Capcom in terms of he didn't take himself too seriously. He did a lot of stuff. He went out to a lot of tournaments, and things like that. But unfortunately, it sounds like when it came to managing development, he just wasn't great. He apparently he tried to do things very. He tried to cut costs where he could, and the games have suffered for it. So
okay,
yeah. So yeah, sad to see him go, but it sounds like the franchise is in much better hands now, and it probably needed a
fresh
start.
Maybe, yeah.
And it's funny. I'm going to see if I can put a link in the show notes. I watched a video the other day from a channel called I think it's Nostalgia Gamer or something like that. They had like a rundown of the Street Fighter franchise, and for each single game, there's never been a producer that's worked on more than one. Each one has always had been in different hands. But 4 and 5 was the exception to the rule. So maybe with it now changing hands again for 6, it might put it back on track. So yeah, fingers crossed. But
yeah, very interesting.
Street Fighter, serious business, yeah.
Damn straight. For me, it is. Anyway.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. I agree.
Wouldn't it be interesting though to get a hold of what was produced so far for Street Fighter 6 and just to see what it was like?
Yeah, I reckon it'll leak one way or another.
Yeah.
Capcom are notorious for their leaks, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Moving on to some other news. I don't know much about this story, but it was sad to see the death of the co-creator of the mouse, Bill English, passed away at age 91. What was interesting here was the actual look of the mouse. I think if you scroll down, Mark.
Oh, look at
that. State of the art. So to describe this to our listeners, it's a wooden block with a small red button on top. And it had two sort of aluminium wheels, big wheels underneath it that would track horizontal and vertical movement.
Well, what's that connection, David? Could I plug that in my current PC?
It kind of looks like the old, not the VGA, but it was similar to a VGA. It was like a 15-pin joystick. The old joystick connector was like that. But I don't know if it's the same. It's probably different. But
That's
yeah.
funny. That looks like something my kid would have made when they were 6 years old. It would work.
So what year was that made? It was in 1968.
Yeah.
So pretty amazing. And who could imagine PC gaming without a mouse?
I know, huh?
It just wouldn't be the same. So there you go. Splinter Cell anime is coming to Netflix. Daz, you posted this.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and this is by the same guy, Derek Kolstad, who I think he's worked on Hitman. They're doing an adaptation of Just Cause as well. So he's got some sort of video game pedigree under his belt. I actually really like some of the Splinter Cell games. I have good memories of them. So I hope they do an anime justice, because it could be, pretty interesting. It suits sort of the action that you could do in an anime. Yeah.
I hope, and I'm going to probably get shot for this, but I hope it looks better than the Castlevania cartoon, because I think that kind of disappointed me. I thought it got a bit boring. I don't know. I just lost patience in it, but I really didn't like the art style of the Castlevania animation. It doesn't look Japanese.
That's fair enough.
It just doesn't look Japanese. You can tell it's
it doesn't.
Not done there. And they all look, I don't know. It's not shit, but that's what started putting me off. I just did not. To me, it didn't look traditional Castlevania. So hopefully this will look a lot better.
I have to say, when I first saw this article, Daz, I looked at the guy there and I thought, what's Heston Blumenthal doing next to Splinter Cell?
Who's
The
that?
chef.
The chef.
I don't know.
You don't know Heston Blumenthal?
No.
He does all these weird creations.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a UK chef. He does sort of, like experiences. So
Okay.
Yeah.
you'll go to his restaurant in the dark, and there'll be, the sound of the ocean playing, and
Okay.
I don't know, all that sort of shit. But yeah, he looks a bit like him. And just wrapping up the news, this is a little fan-made project, but a guy, and I don't know his name, unfortunately, it will be mentioned somewhere in the article, has created a he's recreated Sonic the Hedgehog on the SNES. Now, it's not finished. I think it's only the first level.
Mm-hmm.
There is music, but no sound effects. And I think at the moment you can't die in the game. But I have to say, if you play the video,
Go for it. Put the music on too, man. I'm curious.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. It's pretty impressive.
Wow.
There you go.
That looks really nice. And sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, some of it's slightly different, but the speed's pretty good. You can see there. No blast processing, and still handling
working,
those.
Yeah.
Quite impressed. No sound effects, so you lose that. But yeah, look, great effort. If he puts all this together, it's really cool. And I could only imagine if this game was available back in the day. SNES fans would have gone crazy.
Yeah. So it's actually got a SNES ROM there, so obviously it'll work on real hardware.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It will. Yeah, but obviously not complete. But look, impressive nonetheless. And just amazing that a coder, I love seeing the skill of these people that can do this sort of thing. And he's actually optimized some of the things for the SNES as well.
Mm-hmm. But he'll get a job out of this.
Hopefully he does, because it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like it looks like the actual game.
It does. That's crazy.
Mm.
If anything, it looks more vibrant. Yeah.
I think you forget how vibrant Sonic the Hedgehog 1 was, though. It was
It's quite nice. Even if you look back at it now, it's like it's aged really, really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit.
So very cool. Yeah, I mean, little rabbits pop out and animals pop out when you kill the monsters and everything.
It's got the parallel scrolling too with the clouds. The Japanese version only has that.
Oh, yeah,
On the
that's
Mega
right. I
Drive,
didn't even notice that.
Shit.
Oh, wow. There you go. So there'll be a link in the show notes if you're curious to try it out.
I bet you it was you that coded it, David. You just didn't tell
Oh,
us.
yeah. I wish.
It's just the Amstrad version.
You know what version impressed me? What was the version you showed me? The Atari version.
Oh, Zippy the porcupine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, did I show you that? Did I? That's right.
Yeah.
Zippy
I thought
the
that was really
porcupine.
impressive for a... Was it 2600 that we saw that on?
2600, yeah.
Yeah, wow. That's pretty cool.
It's quite fast. It's not really playable, but yeah.
Yeah, but still, I mean, considering what... graphically, look, it was impressive anyway.
Yeah. Oh, cool. So it's the
Alrighty.
boss there, looks like, yeah.
Yeah, it's still in... But the fact that he got so much of it
That's amazing.
working is impressive, yeah.
Shit. Huh.
Alrighty, I think we're done. No more news. Has anyone got anything else they wanted to mention?
No, I'm all good, man.
All good?
I'm all good.
Cool. Well, I guess we'll wrap this up. Daz, did you want...
Wrap it up.
27.
Don't wrap it.
Wrap it post packet.
Did you want to have some shout outs?
Shout outs to everyone that's watching and listening. Thank you guys. We appreciate it. What else? Shout out to the boys at RD, to Mr. Tagster as well. I hope.
What's your next Arcade Perfect? Have you got a...
We are
game,
actually, it's not a game. The next one's an interview with Darren Doyle from Grey Fox Books. And we'll be talking about his Kickstarter. So that should be out in the next couple of days. And then then after that, Tag and I are doing an A to Z of arcade games. So he's going to pick A, cool. I'm going to pick B, vice versa. So we're going to talk about games that obscure, even some obscure or favourites that we grew up. So, and games that don't have many home ports, because these are games that we probably won't actually do on the podcasts because there's not enough ports. Yeah. So I thought we'd do something different, a bit more laid back. So, and then after that, we'll go back to our normal show like we normally do. But yeah, so the next two are planned, and yeah,
nice, cool. Mr. Marku, any shout outs or?
Just as always, thanks to everyone that listens in to each episode. We appreciate it. Thanks to everyone that joined us in the chat as well. It's always nice to have people watching and interacting. That's always good. Yeah. And yeah, thanks for you guys as always. We toil away and we do this for fun. So yeah.
Also, sorry, a big shout out to Gears for Games too. You people need to watch his channel. He's awesome. Especially if you're an Atari ST fan, you need to watch his channel. And he also does game reviews on the ZX Spectrum. He did a Commodore 64 one too. So,
cool.
We'll chuck a link in the show notes.
Yeah, chuck a link for games. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff, Mats. You're awesome. So, yeah.
Alrighty.
Dave,
that's it.
Did you say anything yet?
No, I've got no other shout outs aside from hello to everyone out there listening.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's madness.
I've got to get you another soundbite, Daz. I guess we'll wrap it up. Thank you again. Episode 30 done and dusted, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks for the next episode.
Adios.
Ta-ta, everyone. Bye-bye.
Where's the end? I can't find the end button. Where's the end button?